What's going on, Junkie Nation? All right, we're going to talk to our next guest here. His name is Kody Steele, undefeated 7-0 record. And he's got a fight lined up for UFC 312. That's 312. Duplessis versus Strickland 2. It's happening on February 8th in Australia. Kody, welcome to Junkie Radio. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
You excited to fly halfway around the world to throw down?
Yeah, I guess. I'm excited for the card. I'm excited to make my debut. Not excited for the plane ride, and like the time change. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with it though.
It's funny because I always tell fighters, don't you get sick of fighting at the Apex? But now that I think about it, because we discussed this with Kody earlier, he's in Las Vegas now. If I was a fighter and they told me Apex or Australia, I think I'd be like, fuck, man, I guess the Apex don't sound too bad after all.
That's literally like kind of what happened in my situation. Like I saw one of my buddies, he's like, "Oh, I got booked." I was like, "That's cool." I'm like, "Where you going?" He's like, "Australia." I was like, "That's sick." And then like I went home and talked to my friends. I was like, "Yeah, he got booked and stuff. He's out of Australia. That sucks, but it's cool. He's fighting, but it's a long trip."
It's a long trip. So you got, for one, it's a long trip. I don't know if you enjoy flying or not. If you do, it's still a long trip, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the time change, right? You got to figure that out or whatever. It sounds like a beautiful country. We once asked Ariane Celeste, I'm sure you remember her, Green Card Girl for many years, what's your favorite city that you visited after all the cities you visited over 15 years? And she said, Sydney, Australia. Where are you guys going to? What city is this? Is it Sydney? Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's Sydney.
Yeah. So you're going to a cool city and everything, but yeah, man, that jet lag, and I don't know what they're like when it comes to taxing you a little extra because you're out of the country.
Yeah.
So, but at least you'll have a crowd, right? On fight night, you forget about it all, and then it lifts you, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they got me like friggin' first fight of the night or something like that. I don't know. Like they haven't like released it, but I think just from like hearing from some of the people who were in the PI, like they were like telling me like, "Oh yeah, I think you're on the first fight." So I'm like, "Great." So first fight, flying across the world just to be the first fight. I was like, "All right, whatever, let's go."
When do you take off?
I think I'm gonna go next week, like at the end of the week. So I'll leave like maybe Thursday or Friday, and then I'll get there like Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll get ready to do like I'll start acclimating and start water loading and doing all that so I can get this weight off.
Hey, I'm not clowning or anything, but you sound like you're sick, maybe, or fighting
Uh,
through something.
a little bit. I just got over being sick, not
Mm.
super long ago.
At
So
least not better now than later, right?
exactly, I was like, maybe
True.
this was like a blessing in disguise, I guess.
What's the best thing to do in that instance? Do you just power through and still go to the gym, or is it better to rest 2-3 days and then come back and restart the camp?
It just kind of depends, like how bad you're feeling. I've been just like coughing up mucus and stuff like that at this point. So I'm just like, I just gotta push. But if
Mm.
I'm feeling it, then I'll chill. But yeah, it sucks. But I think I'm at like the tail end of it now, so we're
You
good.
got 3 weeks. You'll be all right. Plus, you're a young cat. You guys get over stuff quickly. It's funny because right now we're talking at 3:30 in the afternoon, and because we've covered so many of these shows, I know that that's around the time the early prelims start for us here in North America. So I looked right now as you were talking, and it's 10:30 in the morning. So don't be shocked if you're fighting around 10 or 10:30 in the morning in Australia, which means you'll have to wake up. I don't know if you're a breakfast guy or not, and then they'll start transporting you around
Yeah.
8 a.m. Have you already figured all that out?
Not yet, but I do think like I've been told I'll be fighting around like 10. So
Yeah.
like I normally wake up around 8 o'clock here, just kind of do my thing and stuff. But I think since I'll be like going over there,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm gonna like since my time change is gonna be different anyways. I'm just gonna get used to waking up early there, so I can like wake up and then I'll eat something and then maybe do like a little shakeout in the morning and then do another workout around 10, just so I can kind of like figure it out. But as long as I get my body warm and my lungs pumping a little bit, then I think my adrenaline will take over and I'll be fighting. So it doesn't matter if it's at 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. Like I'll have someone trying to kill me, so I got to be ready.
It's true. I was going to ask you, are you just as mean of an SOB in the morning as you are at night?
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I think, like I said, like, hopefully, I don't know what the crowd's going to look like at the very first fight, but I think the Australian crowd's they're always pretty wild. Like, gives them a good excuse to start drinking early in the morning. So I think
Yeah.
if I hear the crowd, I feel the crowd, or, like I said, once I step in there, lock in, see the guy in front of me, I'll be ready to go.
Our guest is Kody Steele, who's got a fight coming up on February 8th at UFC 312, headlined by Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland, as well as Zhang Weili defending her title against Tatiana Suarez. He's 7-0 overall, and he's facing Rong Zhu. I think I got that right, who has a lot more fights than you do, Kody. All right, Goes, what do you have for Kody Steele, our guest?
Kody, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about the gym, right? So a lot of fighters will say when guys are winning, there's so much attention being put towards your gym, and especially this past weekend, that momentum, does it help carry over from one guy to another? And can you maybe talk about how you feel Syndicate stands out over everyone else?
Yeah, it's a good like momentum thing that we got going over there. I think Merab going out there putting on a great performance. So it's just like it was motivating just to watch and see, especially because this camp, I watched him go through a lot of injuries and dealing with a lot of injuries. So it was motivating to see that for him to go out there and just climb this mountain, and then also it just being a big fight and like seeing him in the practice room executing the drills and training that we do, and see him hit it in the practice room and then him transferring it over to the octagon and fighting and doing it. It's like it was really cool to see. And yeah, but at the end of the day, we're all different fighters, and we're all different styles, and so. But I feel good being with Syndicate and having this game plan and having Coach Wood in my corner.
Aside from Coach Wood, is there somebody that you can kind of point to, maybe a veteran on the team that you've just had the opportunity to sit down and just kind of pick their brain a little bit and learn some stuff from them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, and like I talked to like Khalil a lot. I have like talks with him, and I've had like good chats with like Merab, and those guys like sometimes like like I've been talking to them about my debut, saying like, oh man, like how do you guys feel, this that, and they just give me really good advice all the time. Just go out there, do your best. You work hard enough, and think whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, but just go out there and perform and do what you do. And they kind of talk me off the cliff more than anything and give me really good advice. So every time I talk to those guys, I always feel a lot better, because we're all fighters and we all deal with the same mental stresses, especially leading to a fight. But like hearing them and talking to them, and like it always makes me feel a lot better.
Hearing Dana White say this guy's the real deal, I gotta imagine that's probably one of the coolest things to hear, especially as an aspiring mixed martial artist. But at the same time, did it carry like a little bit of pressure for you, or is that something that you eat up, that you like?
I really like. I think like you said, it was really cool to hear it. It's almost like it was weird to hear it because it was like so cool, and it's like something that like I've always watched the UFC, and I watched see Dana White, and then for him to be able to say my name and say good things was like a really surreal moment. But like I'm not the type of person who like drinks their own Kool-Aid, and I've had experiences of listening to the outside, and like believing in like, oh yeah, like there's this, and then I end up going out there and lose because I think I'm something that I'm not. Like I know how good I am, I know what I can do, and yeah, it's like like it's good to get that reassurance. But when I go into fights, every fight to me is a really important fight. It's like a world championship fight, the way I take it and the way I approach it. And I never look about like things that I've done in the past and fights that I've won or things that I've done. I don't like let that tell me like, oh, I'm gonna win this fight, because every fight's different, and I'm never, I'm always like a different fighter. Every time I fight, it's like a new version of me. So, even myself, like I don't know what's gonna come out when I fight this guy Rong Zhu, but I know it's like, I'm prepared for whatever.
Kody, you don't know us very well. We don't know you very well, but you literally live 10 minutes away from us, okay? Here's what you need to know about us. We like to have fun. And you are going to Australia, and everything in Australia is trying to murder you. They got lizards going around, box jellyfishes, sharks, rockfish, all kinds of snakes, spiders. You are the man of steel. You're fighting a dude with one name, right? Sounds like a super villain. James Gunn's probably your referee, who knows? But what is like your kryptonite, something that we don't know about, like something that scares you that we wouldn't imagine? Like, are you a spider guy, a lizard guy? What's one thing if you see in Australia you go, get me the hell out of here?
Bro, if I see like if I like, I don't know, I hear they have like giant spiders, like giant creepy scary spiders over there. I think that would freak me out. I wouldn't even want to be 10 feet from that thing. If I see that it's all hairy and it's ginormous, I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any scorpions here in Vegas?
I haven't seen any scorpions here in Texas. We had scorpions.
Yeah.
So I'd handle myself with those a little bit. Still don't like them. I still think they're like pretty creepy. But
Wait, you had encounters with the scorpions in Texas?
yeah, those will sometimes be crawling around and stuff like that.
Did you
But
get stung?
I've never been stung, no. But they're like little cockroaches out there. So you kind of like, if you lift up a rock, you're probably gonna find one.
Damn.
But
You know that big hairy tarantula that you're kind of referencing here?
yeah,
If he were to sting you, it would be less worse than a scorpion, especially the little brown scorpion.
yeah. But the tarantulas, the big hairy tarantulas, they're a lot creepier looking. So
That's for sure. I agree with you there. But
we have them here. I don't know if you know where the Mountain's Edge Park is, the one with the little hill that you can climb up. I've seen dead tarantulas there. Have you seen those, George, when you're like walking the dog?
not only have I seen dead ones, I've seen a live one just walking in the path of me walking the dog, and it was about 2 months ago. I actually got it on video, but it didn't freak me out one bit. It did freak out my girlfriend, and our dog was just like, "What's up, dude?" to the tarantula. He wasn't tripping either.
yeah, I mean, I've been hiking out here, and I've seen like I've walked by like rattlesnakes. I thought that was pretty creepy.
Oh shit!
Really?
Where?
Yeah, I think, I don't even know.
Red Rock?
Might have been somewhere out there in Red Rock.
What'd you do? Run or just casually walk away?
I was just walking. I just kind of like skipped by it. I was like, whoa, like.
Was it rattling?
Yeah, it was rattling.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was like it was close on the trail too. It was pretty close.
Was it one of those where you were walking and you saw it from a distance and then just walk by, or did it like sneak up on you where you had to like jump?
I was like walking by, and then like right when I started started like rattling his tail, and then that's when I was like skipped off. I was like, whoa, and then like I was like, God dang!
Holy crap!
You know what?
That was last year sometime. I think. When was that? It was like shortly before my fight, because I was just like trying to walk and like go home, stuff like that. Yeah, imagine I didn't show up because I got bit by a snake.
Dude, there used to be a fighter, George. Who was the fighter that used to hide rattlesnakes in people's cars?
Season 1, I think, of
it was Alex something, right?
Alex Schoenauer. I don't know if you go back to season 1. It was 2005. I don't blame you if you. Were you even alive in 2005? Yeah, you were, right? Because how old are you? In your early 20s, right?
I'm 29.
Oh, 29? Okay. So season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter, his name was Alex Schoenauer, and he was kind of like a woodsy guy, outdoorsy guy. Does Mike Pyle still go to Syndicate?
I think he comes in here and there. I don't know if
Ask him. They used to go hiking here nearby, and they would explore caves and stuff, but this guy's idea of a practical joke wouldn't be like, let's get close to a snake or whatever. No, he would put a snake in your gym bag. And so he would freak the guys out pretty good, but he was just good in any scenario. If you were in a sailboat in the ocean and the waves got too big, I mean, he knew how to maneuver and get you out of that pickle. Or But enough guys have stories from him, man, as far as like just adventures.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'd be throwing hands if someone put a rattlesnake in my bag.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Remember, do you remember Amir Sadallah? He one time was putting on his Muay Thai shorts and felt something on his leg, and what's that? And it was a scorpion fell right from his crotch from his shorts. Dude, nah, I don't play those games.
Nah. That's why I think you gotta be careful when you like leave your gear out, like in the garage or something. You know,
Shake them shoes out.
yeah, you gotta shake them out.
What meal do you stay away from that you would like to consume, but because you're cutting weight, you just like you're not gonna have it till after the fight? Is there like a style of food, you know, like a certain cuisine or a certain meal that you just can't have, and you know that you miss?
I really like I like eating like a lot of pizza. And I don't ever eat it too much because like when I'm training all the time, like I'll eat it, but like I just don't eat it all the time because like it'll kind of like fuck me up a bit, you know? So I don't eat it enough, and then when I cut weight, it's like something that I really like want to eat after. And so yeah, it's something that I always like. It's a little go-to for me a little bit after my fights, which is nice and cool because it's an easy go-to after a fight. There's a lot of pizza around here, especially in Vegas.
Yep. What other sports do you like, whether you played them or you're just a fan of?
I used to be a lot more into football. Back more when I was like in high school, and then like was like graduating school and stuff. I was a little bit more into football, but like it was just because I was playing it. But now that like I've been out of like school and I've just been doing MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that, it's like now I just watch MMA, things like that. But yeah, I used to be a little bit more into sports, but now it's like I'm so out of the loop. It's like even all the players that I would know like are all on different teams now. I'm like what the hell?
What position did you play?
I played running back and then like safety.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Are you aware of the final four teams that are left? You know, obviously two are going to make the Super Bowl, but we're down to four. Are you aware of the four that are left here in the NFL season?
I'm not.
Ooh, you've really fallen off.
Yeah, I've definitely fallen off. Like I fell off to the point where it was like I was only watching like the Super Bowl, but then I fell off even more where I wasn't even watching the Super Bowl. And I was like, dang, that's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
Do you think Tom Brady's going to win another Super Bowl, by the way? You think he's going to get out another ring?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's retired, isn't he?
Okay, I was testing you there. I was like, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's throw a trick question his way and see just how far off the grid you are, man.
I'm like somewhat on the radar, but not really on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
So the last four teams are the Commanders from Washington. They visit the Eagles.
Okay.
And the Buffalo Bills visit the Kansas City Chiefs. So those are the four left. Are you originally from Texas or from, did I see Washington State, or where do you claim more as where you grew up and or maybe where you played football?
Yeah, I grew up in like when I lived in Washington State when I was like a little kid, and I grew up there till I was about like 17 or something like that.
Were you all over the Seahawks, the Legion of Doom, and all that?
Yeah, I was all over with the Seahawks and stuff, especially when like Russell Wilson was over there. But now Russell Wilson, he's playing for the Steelers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know the quarterback anymore over at Seattle. I don't know any.
Geno Smith.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They just missed the playoffs.
Dang. Yeah, so I grew up like around there, and then I moved to Texas. So then from like 17 to just till last year, I moved out. I was in Austin, Texas, and then I moved out here to Vegas. So, but I would say like Vegas, or not Vegas. I would say Austin's more like my home, just because like when I was like a kid in Washington, I was moving around a lot. So I have some friends, but I never stayed in like a place for more than like a year or 2 years. So I was always moving to different locations, and then when I moved to Austin, like I kind of like settled into a place and then started doing like my jiu-jitsu, and then like I kind of like built like my little colony of people. So
Isn't that where Gordon Ryan trains out of? Did you ever go to his gym or anything like that?
Yeah, they came in after COVID. So like I was training at a spot with me. It was like me and my boys, and then I was training there for a long time, and then right after COVID, that's when like Gordon Ryan and like B Team and honestly everybody. There's like so many gyms and schools there over there now. But I'll jump around and train around a little bit. But it's cool though. It was cool to see Austin grow into that jujitsu thing, and any school you go there, it's like it's crazy. Like you'll just go into a gym. There's like blue belts that are just like studs, and then like purple belts, and then you ask them how long they've been training. They've only been training for like 2 years, and they're like way better than I was ever. So I was like, it sucks.
Better than you? You're pretty good, man.
Yeah, or maybe not as better than me, but they're
you want a cowboy hat and cowboy boots?
I do. I have some cowboy boots, but I didn't bring them with me. They're back in Texas still.
Yeah. All right. So you immersed yourself in that culture then.
No,
You went from like grunge up in the Northwest to the whole cowboy scene, huh?
for real. Yeah, straight up. I was like in a real small like logger town too, and then I went to like a bigger city in Austin and a bunch of cowboys.
That's interesting. All right. I think Goes has one more before we let you go. What do you have, Goes, for Kyle? Sorry, for Mr. Kody Steele.
Kody, so, obviously I talked a little bit about the Dana White praise on you and the undefeated record. I think it's okay, man. I know a lot of fighters say, look, I'm just focused on what's ahead of me. But you have such a bright career and outlook on your career. Do you ever think about what the future is going to hold, past this fight here? And what would a successful 2005 look like for you? How many fights and any particular people you would want to match up with or places you would want to fight? Like, what's on your wish list?
My wish list this year is, man, I just want to be active, like I want to change my life this year. And obviously my goal is to get like, 3 to 4 fights in this year. And then win those 3 to 4 fights and finish those 3 to 4 fights, whether they're knockouts or submissions. But I think, like if you look at my jiu-jitsu career, you're going to see I have wins and I have losses. But I think most people know me for my performances and how like I always put on a show and how I always show up and show out. So to me, that's more important. That's why I do this. Like when I started MMA, I was like, I don't want to be like I was never thinking like I'm gonna be this undefeated fighter who goes and gets that belt. It was like I'm gonna be that guy who shows up, puts on some scraps, puts on good fights that everybody wants to see and watch. So obviously, yeah, I'm taking one fight at a time, but yeah, when I get out there, it's just like I just want to go out and perform and finish these fights. If I don't finish these fights, it doesn't feel great to me, but it is, it'll be what it is. I'm just gonna go out there and lay it all out there.
5 years
what
from
it
now.
is. That's a different one. You were about to say it is what it is. But you went with
there.
it'll be what it is. That's interesting. That's a nice pivot. Max Holloway loves saying that, and someone drilled us with it the other day. Who was it, Goes?
I don't know, but somebody hit us with it like 20 times in one interview.
Oh, they were out of control with it is what it is. Yeah, all right.
Hey, Kody, so 5 years from now, I'm going to play this clip for you because I know you're going to be around on the sport. What's on your bucket list MMA-wise in terms of like finishes? Is there anything, any type of move or something you've always wanted to finish a fight with? And we'll play this back in 5 years and see if you get it.
I'm definitely going to get a heel hook finish, maybe a couple of them. And then I would definitely love to get another type of like walk off, KO where I hit him and then he's out before he hits the ground type knockout. So those are the two finishes I'm looking for.
All right, it's like the LFA one, or no, sorry, the
Contenders.
No, he had one in the one that back east. Didn't you do one back there? I forget what it's called.
For Fury?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, I slept this dude pretty good. I want to get another one of those. If I get one of those, it's over. It's over. But I did it before, so I could do it again.
Yeah, this weekend or this next coming fight.
Exactly. That's what we're going for.
All right.
Sounds good. We look forward to it. UFC 312, Kody Steele versus Rong Zhu. Kody, thank you so much for the time. And by the way, it was Brendan Allen who gave us, I counted about 11. It is what it is. So I think he beat Max Holloway's record. Anyway, all right, man. Maybe we'll run into you here in Vegas. Get well and healthy, finish that camp, safe travels, go out and put on a show.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.